Martin Luther King Jr. is commonly known as a black person who changed the world and taught people how to be fair no matter what the color of your skin is. But that's not all. He risked his life and his family just so people in the South could discover peace and equality. Today we are going to learn about his life from birth to death, how he sacrificed everything he had for America, and him in a fun way. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. The doctor said he was a perfect baby. He was sent to school and was so smart he skipped 2 grades. His father was the minister of Ebenezer Baptist Church. Martin went to Sunday school and made many friends. He lived as a happy boy. One of Martin's friends was white. They were close friends until the white kid's father told him not to play with Martin, leaving Martin sad and lonely. Martin ran home and told his parents, but his mom told him that he had to love everybody because he was a Christian. As he grew up, he began to see what the world was like. Signs that read white only were hung everywhere. Colored people drank out of different drinking fountains. Blacks could not go into many hotels, restaurants, and shops. Blacks had to sit in the back of the bus. These laws were called Jim Crow laws, also known as segregation. Martin went to a seminary in the North where he met Coretta Scott. They talked about how difficult it was to live in the South. They also talked about peace. Soon after, they got married. Martin's job as a preacher in the South, so they moved there. Martin and other leaders of the civil rights movement had important meetings to discuss. They all agreed to boycott the buses. Soon the bus companies started to lose money. The boycott lasted over a year. Then finally they changed the law. The next morning, Martin went to the bus and sat right on front. He knew he was going to do much more than boycott. Martin became the co-pastor of his father's church, too. Martin started marching in Birmingham. He inspired a huge crowd. He even got arrested and was freed after 8 days. Children in Birmingham started marching too. Even children were thrown in jail. Many white businesses were not doing well because of boycott. Finally, they erased Jim Crow laws in Birmingham. People in jail were released. Other cities followed too. Slowly, more restaurants, shops, and hotels became available to colored people. Black leaders, including Martin, led a march to the Lincoln Memorial. There, Martin made his famous I Have a Dream speech. The crowd was filled with blacks and whites. His speech used the phrase, I have a dream, over and over again. News came. 4 black girls were murdered. So was Kennedy. Lyndon B. Johnson became president. In honor of Kennedy, President Johnson asked Congress to pass a civil rights bill. Congress finally agreed. In 1964, Martin was given the Nobel Peace Prize. Martin gave away all the prize money, which was $54,000, to the civil rights movement. Martin returned to Atlanta. 2 weeks later, he went to Memphis. He was standing on the balcony of a motel when a gunshot rang out and Martin fell down. Martin was dead. James Earl Ray was arrested for firing the gun. Martin's family carried on Martin's message. The president signed a bill to create a holiday for Martin, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Today, people remember him for changing the world and honor him for giving his life to serve others.